Hello and welcome to Talking Point. This week we are talking about online citizenry. What's good, bad and even ugly.
Cyberspace was abuzz recently with heated debates on political issues like sexuality programs in schools, a petition for MP Lee Bee Wah to step down as the head of the Singapore Table Tennis Association, and an online attack against Siu Kam Hong's candidacy for nominated MP. On Monday, Mr. Siu made a police report against netizens who posted allegedly defamatory comments about him. He asked several forums, including the government feedback portal Reach, to take down these comments.
Does all this activity show that the online community is playing a more active role in politics?
The government has said it will not reply to online letters except on Reach. What role then does this online community play? We have Mr. Zaki Mohammed, the new Government Parliamentary Committee Chairman for Information, Communications and the Arts. Carol Soon, a researcher on political communication and new media, and social commentator Alex Au. Welcome to the show.
Well, Alex, let me ask you the first question. There's been a lot of hot button issues lately mentioned on the online, especially in the last, I would say, in the last 2 months. Now, a survey done by the Today newspaper shows, but the actual reach of the online world is very small. Are you surprised by that, or by this finding?
Not at all, not at all. I think it is normal in any society that only a small proportion of people are actually interested to participate in a discussion of a socio-political nature. That doesn't mean that other people out there don't have their own opinions, but it will always be like the tip of the iceberg. So that's quite normal, I think.
Zaki, do you think this is really the tip of the iceberg, or that basically cyberspace is dominated by a vocal minority and not really in touch with what the mass of the population wants?
I think there's probably a balance. If you look at the vocal minority, I think these are those who are more active with certain viewpoints or certain beliefs that they want to thrust forward. And so, to a certain sense, if you look at the statistics, from today, it does show and tell. The amount who are, for example, more politically motivated to speak, for example, and those who, the rest probably they have feedbacks, but through the various government agencies which we receive all the time on various other issues ranging from town council matters to HDB matters and the rest. So I think that the range of issues are wide, but I think those specifically for political purposes, I think are much less. And so therefore, I think to a certain sense, there is often a spillover, and there is always a knock-on effect, I think, for certain issues that will definitely touch the ground. You can name all those, from ERP issues to ministerial salaries.
But let's be frank about this. Sure. Reach as a government portal only got much more reach after these controversial issues came onto Reach. Before that, Reach was rather staid, if I may say, and all the more vocal comments about ministerial pay or civil servants' pay or town council issues were actually going on in cyberspace. So do you think that these recent issues, especially the comments about Siu Kam Hong at Reach, has been the best thing to happen to Reach?
I think there is a window of opportunity that you see right now. I do agree with you. I think in the past, it was probably not the most ideal platform to get these discussions going. I think that the platform was pretty new. It was a government platform, but even I myself was quite surprised when the government announced, that Reach was going to be the preferred platform for them to engage. But to a certain sense, you find that a lot of the good stuff was going on outside, from ministerial salaries to pay hikes to ERPs and the works, right? So if you look at what has happened recently, I think to a certain sense, people have started to realize that if you want to engage the government, you come here and you get noticed. And so to a certain sense, it's probably good. And yeah.
You said you were surprised, right, that the government used Reach. Why were you surprised?
I think to a certain sense, I would have expected a great degree of engagement with the people. I think they know where the key sites are. They know where the highest level activities are. So if I were in their shoes, trying to do engagement, that would be one of those places I would have put my bets on.
Carol, you're dying to jump in. What role do you think Reach should play?
I think the recent developments only reflect the government's interest, in fine-tuning its approach and regulatory measures towards the internet. So I think the government recognizes that the younger population especially, is becoming increasingly internet savvy, and there is a need, whether they believe regardless of how much they believe in it or not, to reach out to this segment of the population who will become a very important segment. So in that case, you look at what the government has been doing in the past, in the recent years. For example, getting AIMS, to engage different members of the public, to provide suggestions on how to fine-tune its policy. Its various ministers having, for example, Facebook accounts or their own blogs to reach out to the citizenry. So these are very clear indications of the government's interest, in harnessing new media to reach out to
I think that
the
there's no
electorate.
doubt that the government's interest is there. And, must online activism, so to speak, or politics online, must there be a guiding hand from government?
I think this explosion of interest in reach that you have just touched upon in the last 2 months has some very unusual factors. Precisely because the government has said that it would interact with the public via reach, and by that implying that it would not pay much attention to other online platforms. I think what has happened in this case, with the case of Aware and Mr. Siu Kam Hong, has been a tiny group of people who've been out to lobby the government for a certain decision or certain kinds of action. And they have then moved en masse, whatever the size may be, onto reach just for this particular issue. So I'm not sure that this particular spike is representative of the growth of reach.
Alex, I think you made a very good point, and would it be fair to say that this group that has come on to reach is a new group? Is a group that has not gone into net in a big way?
I think so. The reason I say so is like this. If you look at people who maintain blogs, and these are the people who have to write, who feel they have to write something at least once every few days and so forth. These are the people who have a range of interests because they write on different things and different weeks and so forth. If you look at the blogs, they have generally taken a certain position with regard to the Aware saga and to Mr. Siu Kam Hong's renomination. But there is another group who are basically posting comments. And these are the same people going into reach. And they have a different set of views. So I think these are basically the comment posters, not so much the bloggers. I think they are two different constituencies.
Okay, we need to go for a break. When we come back, do we want online sites, to quote Dr. Amy Khor as Reach chairman, to act with decorum, observe acceptable norms of cyber etiquette, and avoid explosive issues like race and religion? Stay with us.